And let's get into this mess. So there's a current case that's going on in New York, a sex trafficking trial, which I didn't even know much about, but there's these guys from why am I not surprised? They're wealthy Florida-based real estate developers. They're called the Alexander Brothers. And so what this whole case is going on about is that they're saying that the prosecutors are claiming basically that they're using their ties to famous celebrities to traffic their victims. Hence is where Zac Efron comes in. And when I saw this, I had to look up a particular thing that I'm going to get to called yachting, because this reminded me of something I remember hearing about months ago with yachting and Zac Efron, which I'm like, okay, all this is making sense. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna bring it all together. Bring it. You know how I do. So, without further ado, excuse me. Let's get into the story, courtesy of the New York Post. So, a woman allegedly R-worded by the brother of real estate titans Tal and Orrin Alexander testified Tuesday that she met her attacker at an exclusive NBA Finals watch party hosted by Zac Efron. The accuser told jurors at the start of the brothers' trial in Manhattan federal court that she met security bigwig Alon Alexander, who is charged with sex trafficking alongside his two-star property broker brothers at a June 21st, 2012 party at Efron's loft penthouse in the Meatpacking District. Alon Alexander and his brother Tal, who was also at the party, were friends with the High School Musical star, according to the woman who testified under the alias Katie Moore. Now, fewer than a dozen people were at the party watching the game between the Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder. She testified she had been invited by a friend, she said. She said, I was a fan of Zach's and I wanted to meet him. It seemed like a fun experience. This is what she told the jurors. But the accuser, then a 20-year-old NYU student, claimed her night became a nightmare after she left the Hoops watch party with a small crew that included Alon and Tal Alexander and went to a nearby club, Provocateur, where she was handed a drink that led to her losing control of her limbs. She testified that she lost consciousness and awoke to find herself sprawled out naked on the bed as Alon Alexander, who was also naked, stood over her. Moore tried to get off the bed, but he repeatedly pushed her down, leading her to say she didn't want to have sex with him, she testified. That prompted him to laugh in her face and say, You already did. He then held her down and forcibly R-worded her. This is according to what Moore had to say. Now, my nose got louder and more desperate, and that's when I started crying, said the accuser, who also teared up during Tuesday's testimony. The witness had made no indication that Efron, who's 38, was aware of the alleged drugging and R-wording. A PR firm representing the actor did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Now, federal prosecutors claim that Alexanders used their wealth and prestige to lure women that they met on dating apps and at snazzy parties into their perverted orbit between 2008 and 2021. The brothers masqueraded as party boys when they really were predators, prosecutor Madison Smizer told the jury during opening arguments. Now, jurors will also watch sickening footage that Alon's twin Orrin Alexander, who was then in his mid-20s, took video of himself and a friend R-wording an incapacitated 17-year-old in 2009. Oh, they going down. Y'all are just disgusting. This according to Smizer. Now they said you will see him set up a camera or physically lifted her legs and R-worded her. The prosecutor told a packed courtroom where the brothers sat at two defense tables in matching gray suit jackets and white shirts. Well, hold on, because I actually got what they look like. This is the drawing, but that's actually the brothers is there. Now, Orrin Alexander bragged about the assault, to friends and got a text from Alon, an executive at a elite private security firm that caters to celebs, saying that he took down a 17-year-old. So this is how y'all talk. The then teenager, who will testify using an alias, has no memory of what happened that night, the prosecutor added. The court will also hear evidence that Tal Alexander, who catered to ritzy clientele with Orrin and in 2018 brokered the sale of a $15 million Miami Beach condo to Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, once held a 16-year-old girl down while Orrin and two other men R-worded her. This is according to Smizer. The brothers are accused of slipping date rape drugs into some of the women's drinks and of R wording some of the women by brute force. The defendants carried out their R words in different ways. There's no one size fit all. A defense lawyer for Oren Alexander, Tenny Garagos, Jesus Christ, this you defending another damn person. Wasn't you just defending Diddy? And we see how that turned out. Claimed Tuesday that the accuser will lie about being drugged to avoid her own shame about being intoxicated during the encounters. Several of the women are also motivated by money they stand to gain from pending lawsuits against the brothers. You may find the behavior immoral, but it is not criminal, Garagos told the jury. And you are a damn woman. You should be ashamed of yourself. You may not approve of his lifestyle and his text, but you can still find him not guilty of trafficking. But are we gonna find him not guilty of grape? Because that's exactly what this was. If there's actual evidence of him setting up a camera and assaulting a underage girl and also texting his shenanigans, we just gonna act like that's not what it was. Like, how you gonna try to? I mean, I get as a lawyer, your job is to try to get your client off. Says this not they going to jail. Like based on the stuff that's going on, they're going to jail. But I do find it funny, like, how do you drag him Zac Efron is? But I guess the reason why Zac Efron was dragged into it is because how the night started. You went to a party that he was hosting that you were invited to by a friend, and he happened to be there, whatever the case was. So that's how it started, but it didn't end with Zac participating. Now, speaking of participation, there is there's a story that this reminded me of because there was things going around that someone like Zac Efron, they even said Michelle Rodriguez, a bunch of other celebrities, they're into yachting, which is basically this thing that goes on in Hollywood that I don't think a lot of people know about. It's literally you have people who get paid to party, and it's like one of Hollywood's murkiest secrets. So I think fornication and things going around. And there was a story, I think Sloan did a couple of videos on it, where Zac Efron used to go on a lot of yachts with a lot of men, and that's where a lot of those rumors will start. If you know what I'm saying, and I think you do. A lot of those rumors were starting with him canoodling with men on the boat. So the article goes and says from PR smear campaigns to fabricated celebrity relationships, Hollywood is often considered full of murky practices, but it's yachting that is considered one of the entertainment industry's biggest open secrets, with A-list stars, including models, actors, and royalty, being rumored to have been involved in yachting during their careers. If you're unfamiliar with the term, yachting is this is what I wanted to get to. If you're unfamiliar with the term, yachting is most commonly used to describe the practice of being paid to spend time and be pictured with wealthy clients, often aboard mega yachts. It is considered a popular form for it girls and rising stars to raise their profile, but it also has a murky underbelly of sexual exploitation, coercion, and trafficking. So, according to the podcast, I Know I Sound Crazy, hosted by Ashlyn Galloway, aspiring actors and models, as well as those already in the industry who want to raise their profiles, often enter into yachting with a goal of making connections. While yachting, they gain access to exclusive surroundings and social notoriety through the wealthy or famous men they accompany. However, the practice is not as luxurious as it may sound. As Galloway explains, women are often recruited by their co stars or other yacht girls and take the work believing it to be modeling or an acting job. This was also, if you notice, yachting was in Showgirls. Like, if you've seen that movie, you already know what I'm mentioning when it comes to all. And Nomi was like, nope, I ain't doing that. As Galloway explains, women often recruited by their co-stars, they said, but in reality, what appears to be getting paid to party and be pictured with wealthy businessmen actually blurs the line between perfectly legal and mutually beneficial relationships and speculated sexual solicitation. The term yachting first gained traction in 2013 when the Hollywood Reporter published an investigation into the culture at the Cannes Film Festival, claiming models and even some Hollywood actors swarmed the hotels and yacht parties during the festival. Women installed in yachts in Cannes during the film festival are called yacht girls, and the line between professional prostitutes and B or C list Hollywood actresses and models who accept payment for sex with richer older men is sometimes very blurred. A veteran of the film industry told journalist Dana Kennedy at the time. Quoting Ellie Nahas, who ran a Beirut-based modeling agency before being arrested on charges of running a prostitution ring in 2007. The article continues, you definitely recognize more than a few names from Hollywood. These are actresses who made bad career choices and fell off the radar. They tell themselves that they've been doing that what they're doing at con is okay, that they're just on dates with rich men, when the reality is they're doing what prostitutes do, but they like the money. Nahas was later convicted of supplying more than 50 women of various nationalities to rich Middle Eastern clients during the festival. There's your idea, because I don't want to go through the whole article, whatever, but I just want to give you an idea of what yachting is and why I was like, Zac Efron being connected and all of that, like him allegedly being a yacht boy, plus plus you're friends with these guys who have been, maybe I don't know if he knows, whatever the case. Look, he's not being included in, so I'm not going to include him in it. But I'm just saying, like, him being accused of being a yacht boy, that maybe he's going on boats and hanging out with rich older men and sex maybe and getting involved, and they're paying his coins. Because quiet as kept, as good of an actor that Zac Efron is, when the last time y'all seen him in something? He ain't really out here acting like he used to. I mean, to be honest, Dylan is on our TV screens more than Zach is. So in order to keep them bills paid and the momentum going and all this other stuff, and he wants to still maintain that party boy lifestyle, be a yacht boy. He's still young enough and handsome. I mean, I know y'all criticize the surgeries and all that stuff, but Zach still, he can still get it. I wouldn't kick him out of bed. So to finish up on this story, and then we can move on, because I just want to give you a little idea of, like, that's what my brain immediately went when I was hearing about Zach and this whole sex trafficking situation. Um, they said the three Alexander brothers were arrested in December 2024 after a slew of civil suits accused Orrin and Alon of sickening attacks, including a claim that the twins took turns R-wording a woman inside a Hamptons castle dubbed the Playboy Mansion of the East Coast. Prosecutors have said they've spoken to more than 60 who say at least one of the brothers R-worded them. So they've done this over 60 women. Y'all a serial R-worder. Well, grapist. We'll just use that word because I'm tired of saying R-word. We'll just say grape. So Orrin and Tal Alexander co-founded the luxury real estate firm Official, which offers ritzy listings in places like New York City, the Hamptons, Miami, and Los Angeles. In 2022, after raising the ranks at brokerage giant Douglas Elliman, the pair made headlines in 2019 for brokering the sale of a record-smashing $240 million penthouse overlooking Central Park to hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin. I don't know why. For a second, I read that and I thought it was going to say Kathy Griffin. Now, it said Alon Alexander has been a top honcho at their family's powerful private security firm, Kent Security, at the time of his arrest. Each brother faces 15 years to life in prison if convicted of various sex crime charges, including sex trafficking by fraud, force, or coercion. They are being held without bail at the notorious Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, which, of course, currently houses the president of Venezuela and Luigi Mangione. So they got a lot of people up in that place. That place is popping. They can do a reality show in that prison with all them personalities up in there. But I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? This was a crazy story, but I feel like I finagled it the way I need to finagle it for y'all to kind of get what was, brought up in that whole thing. And what do y'all think of the whole yachting thing? That gagged me when I first heard about it, but also had me relatively fascinated by what may be going on those infamous yachts. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.